Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. We have a guest star here today. I'm going to go ahead and let her go because she's not going to enjoy this video nearly as much as I do. But she's an important prop because we're talking about the topic of high-path avian influenza, which is the latest fear-mongering tactic designed to attack our food supply and to shut down small farmers in favor of the large crony corporations that control our government. You know, such as the ones we know like Monsanto, Bayer, DuPont, and the chemical companies and the big ag companies that basically are moving us towards this state of centralized control of our food, if you want to even call it that, because what they bring to the table is not food. It's literally by definition not food. And so the latest attack on small farms is very similar to the human version of a fake virus. And when I say fake, I don't necessarily mean that there's not a real disease. I mean that the ideology and the response and the tactics that they say we should pursue to avoid these things, that's what's fake. And so they're putting out massive amounts of fear propaganda about this bird flu, which has been fully expected. Christian over at Ice Age Farmer, he does some great content about this, and he's been doing it for years. So there's a lot of us who've been expecting for years for them to start doing these attacks on us, where they start promoting all of this fear about bird flus or swine flus. And we've seen the effect play out in real time in China, where they slaughtered pretty much all of their pork, and now people are starving to death. Children are starving to death because they obeyed, they complied. And we've seen it in England as they started to forcibly kill people's flocks, even their pet birds, over what is just a natural part of nature, which is diseases. Diseases belong in nature. On our farm, this is what our farm looks like. And our farm welcomes every single kind of life onto it. Humans are welcome here. Trees are welcome here. Bacteria are welcome here. Viruses are welcome here. Insects are welcome here. Pests are welcome here. We don't fight pests. We don't fight disease. And as a result, farming is easy and our animals are healthy. And for animals such as our chickens living in a diverse polyculture, they have an incredibly diverse, rich diet. They're not all one breed. They're multiple breeds, so they themselves are very diverse. And so if a disease comes through, it's going to take out a bird or two or three. And this is the way I've farmed all of my life. Since I was a child, this is the way we farmed. And we have never, ever had an issue with diseases. And the people who have issues with this, these are the nightmare hellscape factory farms, those big, long Mississippi barns you see with 100,000 birds crammed into inhumane conditions being fed GMO soy, force-fed GMO soy. Yeah, it's going to be a problem for them. Any kind of disease will, because that's a fragile, broken system. So it's not going to take much to tip the scales on that. But that's not my concern. That's not my business. That's not how I run my farm. So I encourage everyone to be very wide open. Have your eyes wide open about this, and realize just how much bunk is involved in this. I recently got served an ad on Facebook by some agricultural extension or some crony organization like that, or pseudo-government organization, and they were recommending that people bring their flock indoors for 30 days. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my chickens. I'm going to bring them into my bedroom, because that will be healthy. Bringing my flock indoors. It's absurd. They're just trying to obviously do the same thing they did with humans, which is compromise the immune systems of birds severely by limiting their access to nature, so that they will then get really sick, so they can point at it and say, look how all these flocks are getting sick. Time for us to move in. Time for you to register your flocks. Time for us to come regulate and track your flocks. And then when the time comes, we'll come cull them and put you out of business, get you completely dependent on our loans. We'll shut down your business and, send all of that to our transhumanist food and our corporate cronies. So just don't obey, don't comply, fight this when you see it, tell your farmers around you about the absurdity of it, do research into it, and be a voice against it. We need to stop it. Like, it's getting real serious what they're doing to the food supply, and people are going to be starving and hurting and not able to afford food for their children if we don't stop it. We are responsible for stopping this from happening. So get active and certainly don't comply. Just build a diverse system for your animals. Buy this electric pull-through netting. Graze them, rotationally graze them. There's a ton of YouTube resources on this. You can feed them through compost, food scraps. There's so many ways to feed really diverse diets to your birds, and you should be designing your system for it. Design their feed sources in the perennial foods such as willow and perennial tree hays that will feed them, and comfrey. Billy over at Permapastures Farm, I believe he still has comfrey for sale. We're going to try to get some up and running here soon too. So we'll do plenty of videos about that, but don't be afraid of diseases. Diseases are natural. They help you. Diseases are your friend. Viruses are your friend. They come and cull the weak members of your flock. They are, if you are a subscriber to some degree of evolutionary theory, they are a factor that improves species, not wipes them out. If a virus was capable of wiping out species, they wouldn't be here. And if a species is that fragile, then it shouldn't be here. So don't believe it. Don't go along with it. Don't bring your flocks indoors. Don't shelter them. Expose them. I work every day in downtown Nashville, and I'm exposed to hundreds of drunk tourists who are spitting song requests in my face as a musician. And I welcome it. I say, bring on the germs, bring on the bacteria, like strengthen my immune system. Thank you. I'll be a stronger and happier and healthier person for it. Just like my flock will be stronger, happier, and healthier because they are not sheltered from exposure to nature. Nature is good. It's our friend. It's what we want. Tyranny is bad. It's not our friend. It's not what we want. So y'all, keep your eyes wide open and use a lot of discernment in this day and age of so much misinformation coming from the criminal organization that we call government. All right, y'all stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.